Tom Robleski, the political editor of Staten Island Dems. We're here at the Democratic County Convention with Democratic congressional hopeful. Still, Steve Harrison. Obviously tonight, the county committee decided to endorse Councilman McMahon. What was your take on how things went there tonight?
Well, it wasn't really all that surprising. I think that what you were looking at here was a lot of good old boy things going on. I think that our message still resonates. Remember that we are the only candidate that has 43% in his pocket from the last election, and we're the only candidate that's really known wide throughout the entire district, and that's going to play in our favor in September when the primary occurs.
The total for Mike McMahon for Congress from the 13th Congressional District, 131. Steve Harrison, 40, and 4 abstentions. I direct the Secretary to cast one ballot for Mike McMahon, candidate of the Democratic Party for the 13th Congressional District of New York.
End the war, end the war, end the war, end the war.
Disappointed, right?
You cheated.
We're standing here with the Democratic County Convention tonight with the party's candidate for the 13th Congressional District, City Councilman Michael McMahon. How do you think? Obviously, things went very well for you tonight, but there's a little bit of dissent in the room with Steve Harrison supporters. What do you make of all this?
There was, Tom, and you know the important thing is that we all come together. I would hope sooner rather than later, because what we've learned even in the national election is that we can't have Democrats fighting and clawing at each other. Throwing punches, doing some mudslinging, because it hurts the whole cause. What's important here is that at the end of the day in November, we Democrats are successful and take back this congressional seat for the first time in 28 years. Now, if we tear each other down, which I certainly don't intend to do, but I hope that Steve Harrison can find a way to accept the decision of the Richmond County, Staten Island Democratic Party, and the Kings County, Brooklyn Democratic parties. And if not, at least we can go forward in an orderly and gentle person way so that we can discuss issues and not personal attacks.
2 years ago, I stood before you as your candidate. I'm not your candidate tonight, but I will say this. One of the most important things that you need in order to run for this office is courage. 2 years ago, with Vito Fossella, I took this man on when nobody else was willing. A fellow by the name of Mike McMahon was in John Galino's office. And when he was there, I said to him, John, or Mike, I'd stand behind you if you took this on, and he said no. I took it on at the time when it was difficult, but Mike McMahon decided only after Vito Fossella decided that he was out that he would take it. So under the circumstances, I will continue this ride to the end.
Anyone can attack my record because I've served in office and I've made decisions that I thought had to be made to make a better city and a better community for us to live in. Hard decisions and people who are willing to make them, that is courage. And that's the courage that we need to send to Washington to move the inertia in our capital that has not allowed this country to flourish the way that it should.
Obviously, what's happened with Congressman Fossella, the scandal that's sort of enveloped him, obviously presents Democrats with a golden opportunity for this seat. They haven't held the seat since 1981. Are you concerned at all that a primary might hurt the party to the point where they may not be able to win this race in the general election?
Actually, I'd be much more concerned if Congressman, or if Councilman, I jumped my gun there. Okay, if Councilman McMahon is in there at all. This is someone who's interviewing for the Conservative Party endorsement. I don't think that's going to play well with the base and the Democrats, and I think you're going to see a lot of people stay home, particularly on the Brooklyn side, for somebody like Councilman McMahon who's not going to resonate. We have to get somebody in here. This is our chance, our opportunity to take this seat back, not only for the people of Staten Island and Brooklyn, but for the Democratic Party and the people of this nation. And we can't allow it basically to go from one dynasty, the Fossella dynasty, to another dynasty, the McMahon dynasty, which seems to be what they're trying to do on this island.
I'm not going to go down there to protect my political career. I'm going to do what is right. So I think Steve Harrison should stop attacking. Let's get on and talk about issues, what each of us would do in Washington. But I stand by my record, and I'm very proud of it because every decision I made, I did it for the right reason.